I just want an Emilian here, and it's 3 March 2021 March. I'm sorry, and God, I want to warn people to gather some food. I don't want to scare nobody. It's just preparation to gather yourself some food. At least you want to be hungry. World War III is gonna happen, and I'm gonna tell you a few dreams that I had starting and up to more recently this week that happens. Well, first of all, in about March 2018 beginning, it was still winter. I received in Toronto. I was doing some arts, so I received in this dream while I was trying to do some music. It was new for me on the computer. I was outside. The dream started, and I see a white blank card, a small card, and there was one. Then I see another one, and the third one I see something written on them, and it looked pretty. So I picked it up and I read it, and as I read it loud in my soul without my words, I heard Clinton 2021. Actually, 2021, 14, 1400 years after the New Age. It's said like this, almost like a robot, but with my voice. So it was read to me what with my voice. Clinton 2021, 1400 years after the New Age. So I woke up, I searched 621 was the birth of Islam. So I'm like, okay, it looks like Islam is New Age. And what's gonna happen? Well, this was an invitation I knew in my soul for shelter for World War III. We have seen that the Democrats, Clinton, since then I'm gonna leave you with the interpretation, but it's not that hard. Now, more recently, you might have seen that there's a movie that came on Amazon that was very famous here in the West and maybe other place in the world with Eddie Murphy coming to America. This comedy that was in the 80s, I grew up with it. Many people, it's a pretty famous movie, if you ask me. So the new one, which I'm not planning to see at all, but I know that it went to, I believe, Amazon Prime, right? Not Netflix, Amazon. So in that particular time, which was what 2 3 days ago, was I stopped a bit because since I said the word Netflix, this it's very sneaky. I already see a demon trying. I'm not for people who don't understand uh, things of God. I cannot explain, but me, I already feel it's different than I don't have my calmness since I started this video. So, in the name of Jesus Christ, man, wash me and get out. And excuse me for that because it's affecting people when you talk bad. So, it was on Amazon Prime, and in this dream, during that time, without me, I think knowing it, I was trying to make some money with trading futures and sports and using this gift, but to my advantage, at least for the moment, because I was tired being poor while my health was doing better. Well, recently I gained some of my health, and it took many years, many years, almost 20 years. So I'm like almost changing now, and it's funny because I almost saw came to my hand to do good all those study in the last months, and I'm on this for almost like a year and a half, and I was starting to share some videos. So in this dream, but God's still sending me message even I wanted this. So in this dream, I was coming from east, and I went uh, south, southeast, southwest in a washroom, and then there was a man, and he turned and he went from where I came, and I heard um, trading place, whatever. And then I see, and it was Eddie Murphy. His back was standing there, and he had sunglasses. I don't know if he looked at me. And came a man, a white man from north. I think he was dressed in a suit. And he came, and I said, I let a snake one. And then when I said this, I knew that there was some wind coming from my, like I guess my butt, or but it was a direction going towards the north. And the man just turned and he went back up. So a lot of these dreams, like I'm gonna tell you another one, you're gonna see like there's a triangle. There's a triangle in like World War One, World War Two, and World War Three. And more recently, about 3, 4 days ago, again, it does another 1, 2, 3, and it says at least people are gonna forget because we cannot forget World War One and World War Two. And this dream was as follow. I was drunk. If you have read the Bible, which I don't do these days, unfortunately for me, it's been a while. But in the books of Revelation and the end time, let's go to the dream first. I was drunk and I was outside of a building going home, and I must, before the dream started, raise myself through some stairs, climb some stairs, because then I was walking on the platform. I was drunk. Somebody stopped me, I guess, because I stopped and I knew somebody was for me at the left that I passed, and I looked back, and that person, I'm gonna try to look forward since now. That person said, I brought you this, and it was a woman. And I looked, and there were groceries bag, and my soul said groceries. And I looked, and these bags were all black, medium size, and they were closed. You see, there's two type of virus envelopes, closed or not. I didn't know that up until today. And there's gross, and there's different, like I'm not gonna say too much, but it's not important at this point. What I wanted to say is for the World War One and Two, because then I said thank you, and then a couple of months ago I was so mad at everything with my health and my financial point. I wouldn't have said thank you, so I said thank you. I continue, and then I did like this, and I knew it was close to home, just like in my goal here, I guess, a bit financial. But before I reached that window, that the first one that I knew it would be my house. And I was drunk like I used to be a painter, you can think Jackson Pollock, it was a polish, they attack him, in World War II anyways. And this is not in my mind. This is 20 years ago, things that I've studied in the past in New York, but it looks like somewhere out of New York, with the railing on the side. I mean, not railing, but the steel, I guess those tight uh, staircase, you know, side of the buildings, and I knew it. I was up several floors, So, and when I did this and this, another woman stopped me. See, this is World War One, World War Two. Obviously, when the dream goes, I don't know about this. And the woman stopped, and before I reach home, I gave her my things, and just like somebody will be. Anyways, I give her my things, and I tell her thanks for having stopped me. When I say this, I see. Let's say I walk like this, I walk like this. It goes back like this. Almost, it's a flashback, and it shows me back where I came, and I say, thanks for having stopped me. And then I see where it stopped there before going home and seeing this woman, and I see two bars. Like there will be bar, but I see two. I said, thanks for having stopped me. They were black. Talking about COVID, World War 20. Thanks for having stopped me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have remembered. And then I see a screen like this. A man that looked like Jesus in the middle, and he had longer hair. Um, You can see that I have a long hair like this. Now I'm sharing, but I thought, I used to pray, especially before that. I'm like, Jesus, should I share? What am I doing, with the sports? I didn't say what am I doing, but should I share anything or stop? Or so I started going back to church and several days like this. And then, so I see this, and it was given to me to test it in the dream because I pray more God. And then I say, Jesus, Jésus est l'enfant de Dieu. It was in French, meaning Jesus, the Son of God. And the guy turned it to his right. Okay, this is my left, but I'm doing it as I saw, but he was looking at me. So this is my right now, but I saw it this way. And he says, and then I say, are you? And I wanted to say, and then I said, I say it. And he said in French, Jésus est l'enfant de. And it lasts like a second. And he said, merde. At this point, something started to strangle me, almost like two hands. And at this point, it's almost like I saw a timeline going this way. And I couldn't get out. So after like 2 seconds of not breathing, and it was feeling real, I guess if it would have continued, I would have died in my dream. But what I wanted to say about this dream is that I had two thoughts at that time. Okay, what I'm gonna do. I think it's like people I've seen. They I enter in the thought. It's like, well, okay, what I can do now, and I almost my body entering those thoughts. And I was calm, and one of the thoughts was, I don't want to be possessed like this in the future. I was thinking about epileptic, and then not breathing, and and then I started yelling Jesus, and it took like 2-3 times, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. At this point, it touched me here, and it grew a little bit. Some power grew, some energy in my right this place, whatever you want to call it. And I woke up. I went to bed very tired, studying several couple hours all day, and I was catching up on some, because when I was sick I couldn't study because of a nailment in my eye, like a trouble. I had acute eye trouble, so I couldn't study, and it was very hard for me to see. And to say the very least, with all the body troubles, and I was not really formed before, and everything went fast and slow. And well, sometimes this is when you have not your place. Um, I grew up poor, and then I was careless. You know, I thought, it was predestined to do some good things, and I was a bit careless. And then it was mixed with all kinds of things, Year 2000, weed, bad woman, no church, never grew up with church, and etc. etc. You can blame it left and right, Uh, it's a bad mix. It's a bad mix. And well, listen, I've seen that there's some giving from the states to us now, like in Ontario Northeast, but can it be the swine flu, the shipment? I think it's the war, because especially that's most important. And God told me 2021, remember? And so I invite people to remember in the church. It's Easter coming, and there's, for Catholics especially, not the strangle like Freemason. Are you and you don't say it, God, or are you ready for World War III? And like I said, God, and I was praying God, and a lot of them are they're Catholics too. So if you're Catholics, they're not supposed to be. Was banned, but then it was accepted, and a lot of trouble started. And some popes, Leo the 13 and everything, they wrote an encyclical banning Freemasonry in the Catholics, and they're smart and Catholics, and they have the true faith. And I shouldn't say smart, but what I mean, you can be smart without being one of those. But a lot of problems were there, like corruption. Like you cannot be both. You cannot serve God and serve, left and right, and things of this world and things of the other. And up to this date, I think that this priest done many things. This pope, and you know, I don't see him even today. Anyways, it's not important like who got canonized or not. There's little time for me. So prepare yourself. Uh, buy some food for you and your family. To say the very least. Thanks. Father, Son. Forgot one thing that I wanted to share again. In June last year, I shared a little bit that I was going up and down the hallway, and I said I was singing a song with a beautiful voice, and it was a beautiful song also. So I was doubling the song, and I was singing this song that I never heard when I think it was a song of Elvis Presley. I was going up and down, and then I said, like the music stopped, and I sing all my continuation, I think, and the spirit said, "When woman will be like man," and then I was I was not cut up actually. It just changed the scene. I was not maybe pure enough to be cut off with the spirit in the air like it happened to me 10 years ago with another vision. You know, you feel all water in the spirit of God, and I was caught up in there. No, it's just it was another scene, but I was in midair. I was unfortunately not feeling my body and not pure enough, I guess. And I see in the horizon a big explosion, big large explosion, uh, something like that to make a big. And I said, "Hey, I used to live there." With the sarcasm I had at that time or something. So I did visit some parts, but in Canada, can it be BC? Can it be another place? I was recently, BC, Toronto. Well, I don't want to scare nobody. Is this gonna be when I said the World War III? I don't know, but what I wanted to tell you is always be prepared no matter where you live. Get some food and pray. And pray, obviously, When I say get some food, it means have God first, but get some food too. It's not fun to lack food, I think, for 10 days. Did you ever do it in your life? And next to you. So I don't want to give you um, some bad thoughts here. And this is not the goal here. It's not a horror movie. At this point, it's more like a drama. It's more a preparation, to say the least. And I want to tell you something as a sign. In Canada, here, I just read the news today. 3, 4 days ago, a father in BC got arrested because he called his daughter, 14 years old, that is currently going forward or has just started to change her sex to a man, and he called her, and just for that, they put him they arrest him. He cannot even express himself. So basically, they alienated him. He cannot even express himself by the love and care he has for his daughter. He cannot even have a talk. They just basically they close his mouth and they arrest him. And I don't think he does it by the hate of his daughter. You can, on the contrary, I'm pretty sure. So this man got arrested. I think it's his name is Robert something. And let me tell you what his name is. And my point is that he's from Vancouver and I had this vision. Now in II, World War One, I looked when it did start, and also why it did start. And World War One was a assassination. So when God let this happen, it's not that God did the war; it's man who did the war. I'm actually many times I'm pretty sure God stopped it. We heard about Cold War. We heard how many times God did stop wars. Many, many times. People forget that. And he didn't have to do it. We were mostly, he did it for people, for the innocent, because many people, they looked for, or I shouldn't say they looked for. That's not what I want to say. They walking in that direction. Many of us, day to day, instead of searching God. So this video is long. I'm gonna stop here. And I think World War II was abortion. Abortion became legalized in many parts of the world, and that's that terrible sound of war and the throwing and I'm just thinking also, the revenge. China communist, and now I say when woman will be like man, and you see, in my dream there was two women, and if you turn WW, when woman will be like man, and now it's 2M, you know, and what usually does two men, like you see in the animal can not acting like animal, they fight for territory, they fight for place. Unless you have Jesus and you're ready to talk, I'm talking to leaders in the world, and you cannot do it with Jesus because Jesus is God, and you cannot do it with God. Why? Because peace is with God, you know, and that's just how it is. That's just how it is. If there's a king and you're not supposed to have more money than the king, today God knows what it is. It's all up and down. Today it's companies. Today it's all upside down. It's all upside down. They're killing people in their wombs. Everywhere you look, even where it's money today, there's this alienation. I could do so many videos, but it doesn't look good the future for many reasons. Freedom of thoughts and of beliefs is also threatened. That start now. I'm about 40 years old. When I was 20 here in Canada, and you didn't heard that. Oh, you cannot have a cross. Oh, you cannot wear this, and then it started. It started, I guess, in 2000 and or prior to that. But it's not good. Everywhere you study now, it's all heart is closed. It's very grim, very dark. get out of here. And may Jesus be with us, man, because man is looking for trouble. A lot of men is looking for trouble. Right? This is not what I want to say, but they're not walking in the right direction. They're not walking in the right direction. There's a lot of people who have shown bad things as example to people who don't know a lot of things and they don't look from good example. A lot of people are corrupt, if not everyone. You know, people who were set to set example, priests, stars, actors, politicians, popes. I'll leave the popes alone, but just there's a lot of corruption. You know, this big glamour of being a drug seller or this big glamour of being this Robin Hood. Uh, it's all based on lies, corruption. It's not based on good. And you know who suffered? Let's be a man here. Let's be a man, even if you're dealing drugs or anything, and or you're corrupt. Go, who suffer for it? For your for your crappy pens. The innocent one, the ones that don't know a lot, the one that doesn't deserve, the woman and the child, the widow, the little ones. In these places, in this world where this and cartel runs and all these places, man, we heard that people and little girls that get raped and killed, and it's the jungle, no laws, and it survives by the help of other alienated governments and all this. I understand that it's hard to, it must be hard to fix everything because the devil is at work. But when I look that these are even the chosen Christians, when I look at South America, it breaks my heart. I mean, if these don't understand, then I understand they might be oppressed, and they're like, whoa, but they have to stop and look and say, all this is gonna pass. But you know, the judgment of God will not pass. How sad it is that if a person that has faith, and it might have happened to me if I grew up there, God knows. I'm not excluding myself. I'm not perfect, but imagine somebody growing up with a faith, 1,000%, and tired of being. I'm not gonna protect them. I'm gonna talk harsh because you're hanging out with guns. You're hurting people. You shouldn't be doing this. If you're a Christian, stop. Don't think that holy dead. This is the devil. The devil is dead. If he comes for you and you're not ready, you're not going to heaven probably. God knows. You're playing with fire, and it's against you already from the get-go. So there's too many bad things. There's too many bad things, man. We need a miracle. We need a miracle. And I'm old and I'm dirty. And I mean, well, I'm dirty. Not right now. Yesterday, well, today too. I should go to confession. It's been a while, but uh, we need people who talk about these things, man. I mean, if you're a politician, okay, we count on you. Like, how many years you want to be corrupt? The whole 9 yards. The whole. Let's say you're in politician for 50 years. Don't you have enough of being corrupt, even at least half? Can you start changing a bit and not be afraid? Like, don't you afraid of more of God? And when you look, I've said enough, man. I heard. take care of this woman and children.